So we want to show you why officials say the next few weeks are so important. It took 67 days for the worldwide number of reported cases to reach 100,000, but just 11 days to reach 200,000 and just 4 days to go to 300,000. That is why there is such high concern in hotspots all across the United States, including right here in New York City. And that's where we find our lead national correspondent, David Begnaud, who joins us from his New York City apartment. David, good morning. Is New York getting the help it needs from Washington?
Tony, they are, but the governor says it's not enough, and you're about to sense his frustration. The governor's saying, look, federal government, you're sending me stuff, but what you're sending me isn't matching the urgency of the emergency. The governor is trying to convince the federal government we are the worst of where it is right now. Here in New York, cases are doubling every 3 days, and it's to the point now where the White House told people yesterday, if you left New York recently to go anywhere in the country, you should self-quarantine for 14 days immediately.
We remain deeply concerned about New York City and the New York metro area.
That is because more than half of the nation's new coronavirus cases are being found right here. Crowded subway cars may have accelerated the spread. New York's governor says FEMA gave the state 400 ventilators. To that, he said this.
What am I going to do with 400 ventilators when I need 30,000? You pick the 26,000 people who are going to die because you only sent 400 ventilators.
The governor now projects that the state will need up to 140,000 beds, with an additional 40,000 ICU beds.
I would be lying if I didn't say there's incredible amounts of stress.
Across the river from New York, at Holy Name Medical Center in New Jersey, the chief infectious disease specialist says his hospital has just 10 ventilators, barely enough for now.
But if the worst is yet to come, as we're expecting, then it won't be.
The mayor of Los Angeles says New York could be a preview of what's to come.
We are anywhere from about 6 to 12 days behind what we are seeing in New York City.
And now to Louisiana. Cases are growing faster there than nearly any other place in the world. They now have more than 1,300, which per capita puts them behind New York and Washington state. Louisiana's governor asked the president to declare the state a major disaster area, and President Trump has. The virus took the life of acclaimed Tony-winning playwright Terrence McNally. He had pre-existing conditions. He was a lung cancer survivor with COPD. He died at 81. On President Trump's order, 9,000 National Guard members have mobilized around the U.S. Troops in Charleston, West Virginia were delivering supplies to hospitals. Back in New York, COVID-19 has infected one of New York City's finest, 27-year-old NYPD officer Christine Galgano. Now, her case is unique because she also suffers from lupus, and because of that, she is already taking hydroxychloroquine. We spoke to her by phone.
That is a medication that they are trying out to see if it can also help people with COVID.
But they're having me double up my dose as well to see if it's helping. And so far, I've gotten through all of these symptoms fairly quickly.
Officer Galgano's mother was also diagnosed with COVID-19. She is at home and she is not doing as well as her daughter. 177 NYPD officers have tested positive for COVID. Before I toss it back, I want you to know that we're getting word this morning out of Atlanta, where the mayor there says they are at capacity with their ICU beds in the city, and she expects that sometime soon they may have to start using a field hospital of sorts.
Boy, sign of the times. Thank you very much, David.